In this video I want to demonstrate how you can soft-proof your image inside Photoshop and what you can do inside Lightroom and what you can't do inside Lightroom. So just start inside Photoshop. So here I'm inside Photoshop. I've installed the profile I've downloaded before from Whitewall, and this was done in the previous video. And here you see, when you open the Whitewall webpage, how does softproofing work. So we are now inside Photoshop and we want to just work like here is listed inside this website from Whitewall. So inside Photoshop you have to go to the View menu, and in the View menu there you have the Proof Setup. And that's important that you go to the Custom dialog, and inside the Customize Proof Conditions dialog you have the option to devise, to simulate, to change or to choose the proof ICC profile, and this is the WW, I have to search it, inkjet D-point. And I take this one, and now we have to dial in some of the controls. So rendering intent is relative colorimetric, that's okay. You have the black point compensation turned on, that's also okay. You can activate the preview, and then is an option you can do if you want to. This is optional. You can simulate the paper color. And if I press on simulate paper color, then you see that it's getting quite mushy if you want to. So you lose the RGB black, because here you now have the simulation of the print. And the eye needs to adapt to this one, because we lose for sure the rich black of the display. So that's the simulation. And if you now want to go to View and to go to gamut warning, then you see if there are some colors are out of gamut with a gray overlay. So just go here inside View and Saturation, and I will saturate this a lot, and then you see the gray on top is where you can't print these colors. So these saturated colors couldn't be printed. I will press on Command Y, so that's the thing without the proof. So Command Y will deactivate the proof preview, and you see that's a lot of saturation. But when I press on Command Y and after that on Command Shift Y, then you see that's the regions that couldn't be printed in this profile, and Whitewall has to bring in the colors to the next possible color that could be printed. So don't overdo it. Or on the other way, if you see that there are some colors too saturated and you want to have the control how the colors get rendered, then you can come in and just tweak these colors. So that's everything you need to know. So first of all, I will leave that as it is. You can display the problem areas, and after that you can work and bring in the colors to a region that's printable. So let's say the image was desaturated, then you have to go in and, for example, go in with the Hue saturation, and here you have this slider and you can print or click into the blues. Now you see the blue colors are selected, and you can bring down the saturation just for the blue colors, and then you see now the image is exactly as it will be printed. And this you can do for all the other colors where you have problems. With this image I hadn't any problem, so this image would print totally fine. If you have done your soft proofing and if you have done all your editing, then you can say I want to save this image with all this editing, and you can disable the gamut warning and disable the color proof like so, and everything is fine. So just remember, this is just for you as a reference. The image will stay in its RGB format as it was before. This is just a soft proof. When you go to Lightroom, you have also the possibility in the develop module to activate the soft proofing. and if you activate it, here you see you have this paper styled proof preview and the border here in white, and here you have the proof controls. And for this one you can go in and say, okay, I have ProPhoto RGB here inside Lightroom and I want to prove how the image gets rendered in sRGB, like so. And now you see that's the sRGB representation with the soft proofing. And the thing you can't do here inside Lightroom is to prove ICC profiles. So if you want to check this, you can go here and press on Other, and now you can just include all display profiles. And the profile I've downloaded and installed from WhiteWall isn't here in, because that's not a display profile, that's a printing profile. And if I will open the WhiteWall site again, here, then you see open in Lightroom, and here's the explanation, and CMYK profiles will not be shown inside Lightroom. But if you want to prove other RGB profiles, then that's totally fine. And for this you can go in and say, for example, I want to soft proof how this image gets rendered on sRGB color space. And when I now change something, Lightroom will say, okay, do you want to make this a proof, or do you want to create a proof copy? And I will go in and create a proof copy. Now you see this is my virtual copy, and the name of the proof is inside the copy name, so that's sRGB perceptual. And now I can go in and tweak the image so that I will see exactly how this image gets rendered out of Lightroom when I go to the sRGB color space. And here I can go into the saturation and bring down the saturation for the reds a little bit, like so. And this is, as mentioned before, my sRGB representation, and here I can tweak everything. I can go in and say, okay, I want to have a saturated or more saturated green over there. Maybe go in and tweak the color of the greens a little bit, like so. And I can also go in with the luminance and just brighten the greens even more. And now I have the soft proof just for sRGB here inside Lightroom. So these are the two options. If you want to prove a profile that gets printed, just go over to Photoshop, and here you can tweak the colors so that you will see exactly the colors, how they get printed. If you want to prove RGB profiles, then you can do this inside Lightroom with the soft proof option inside the develop module. And a small thing I didn't show you, I will show you right now, is the gamut warning. And for this, if you are in the soft proof, like I am right now, you can go up here, and there you see show destination gamut warning. And this on the left is the show monitor gamut warning. So if you have a monitor, a screen that can't show any color or the colors you're using, then you see it over here. And if you want to show the output gamut warning, then you can bring this in, and you see in my case these colors over there are out of gamut. So I can go into saturation and take this slider and just desaturate these colors, and now I will see exactly how this sRGB image gets rendered after I've exported it. So that's everything you need to know. For the beginning, just remember that's a proof preview and not the final preview. So don't go and print the image afterwards and hold it next to your screen. There will also always be some differences, but the proof is or the soft proof is a good option to see how the final image gets printed out of Lightroom, or out of not Lightroom, gets printed from WhiteWall. Or if you want to export the images out of Lightroom for sRGB and you want to see how the final image looks like, then you can do the soft proof inside Lightroom with the sRGB, tweak the colors, desaturate, if you want to, and then you see, or then you have the control on how the colors get rendered. If you don't do this, you don't have black or red color patches on your final sRGB image. Lightroom will convert with relative colorimetric rendering intent when you export out to sRGB.